Next thing we're going to talk about in this beginner stitch library and crochet information log is the ever popular Slipknot. But instead of showing you a trick to tie a Slipknot, I'm not going to show you a trick to tie a Slipknot. I'm going to tell you what a Slipknot is. And I know this is a strange thing to do, but often when people are learning to tie knots, this is one of the first things everyone expects you to understand. And let's be honest, crocheting and knitting are just tying knots. They're tying knots with sticks or hooks. That's all you're doing, is tying knots. So this is a section of knots. Let's just admit that we like tying knots. This is all knots. This has a knot in the middle and a bunch of little floofs going through it. This is all knots. Got it. Okay. So a slip knot is a basic knot. And if you're familiar with, like, say, tying your shoes, you're familiar with part of how a slip knot is created. So when you tie your shoes, you know, it's crisscross applesauce, and then you're going to pull a bunny ear through or whatever it is you say about how it works. Unlike tying your shoes, both ends of the string are involved in tying your shoes. In a slip knot, only one end is really knotted. Only one end is knotted. It just happens to be knotted around the other. This is the basis of a slip knot. So this is what we want the knot to slide on. This is what we want to tie the knot out of, okay? So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna put it over or under, your choice, doesn't matter. The part you want it to slide on. And then you're literally just gonna tie that square knot on itself. See, it's around this one, but this is not a participating leg in the knot. It's just hanging out. So we're literally just tying a very basic knot around that one. I'm gonna leave kind of a wide gap so you can see it right there. So this is the non-participating portion that slides. A slip knot's function is to slip. If it doesn't slip, it's just a knot, okay? So you also don't want to pull it ridiculously tight until you're done sliding it. Because at some point, if you pull it really, really tight, it will stop sliding up and down, especially on yarns that have higher friction. You're gonna find that those high friction yarns, the slip knot, will cause the fibers to abrade together and sort of felt. And we can talk about felting later, but it will make that slip knot sort of a permanent knot because they'll stick together really hard. So what we're doing now is just the beginning of crochet. This slip knot, in some cases, becomes chain stitch 1, sometimes referred to as 0. Sometimes you skip it, depends on the pattern. So we're gonna actually cover those in more detail later. So this is a slip knot, how it works, whatever fancy little tricks you have to tie a slip knot, that's bully for you, that's wonderful. But the reality is slip knot is a very simple and functional knot that helps you get started in crochet and knitting.